Hello. The past few videos I've just looked like gross, so I thought at least this time I would make a little bit of an effort. Not much. It's May. It's the beginning of May. It's been, I think it was too good to be true to try and think that I would have 2 really good months in a row. It's been okay though, it's not bad. I had a really stressful shift on Saturday, so I'm just kind of like unwinding from that, and yesterday as well was kind of, but today I'm off because it is annual leave because it's bank holiday. There's a lot of things actually that's been playing. Oh my god, how did I have like scabs on my knee, but I don't remember falling over. What the hell? Anyway, I have had quite a few things playing on my mind, and I think that's also what's making me really drained, because I'm sort of like, I'm an overthinker anyway, so when like one small thing happens I've already imagined like 100 scenarios, right? But it is also a good reflection within myself, because you know, I just need to learn to adapt and accept that some things, well actually in life most things don't go as you imagine it, so I shouldn't really let that put me down. You know, I'm the type of person, like, if I start to feel uncomfortable about a certain situation, then I tend to like sort of detach myself. Like I said, I'm an overthinker, so I'm already making like different scenarios in my head. I think it's kind of like my mitigation strategy, or I don't know, like maybe it's like a fight or flight response type of thing, you know. When I feel uncomfortable I just start to detach myself from the situation. Before I didn't, but then like being like irrational and reactive just led to like even worse problems in the past, like when I was younger. So now like I just don't have the energy, or like I just don't have the energy. I can't be asked to be dealing with these things, so unknowingly I end up like detaching myself from that situation, from that person. I get really defensive as well, which is good and bad. It's good in the sense that in the past few years that's what's kind of stopped me from making the same mistakes that I did in the past, but also bad in the sense that I end up detaching myself from other people who are also in that, like, who are also related, even if they may not have anything to do with it. But like I said, in my head I've got like all these scenarios, which is a really bad habit. I'm trying to stop that as well. I just need to let people be people. Like, until it actually happens I shouldn't let that define my actions, but at the same time it's kind of like I'm trying to be proactive and prevent what's happened from happening again, type of thing. But I'm trying to change my mindset about the way I see things, you know, like at the end of the day, if it's gonna happen then it's gonna happen. And now I guess the way I take it in is like I really think about it and I'm like, how much is this gonna affect me in the future, you know? Like I said in like my first or whatever video about like how you have that 1 hour or that time that you allocate yourself to reflect and stress about whatever is stressing you out. In that time that I give myself, I really think about like how much is this going to affect me. So even if this may happen with this, like how much will it really affect me though, you know? I think I've just become too comfortable with my little second family that, you know what, it is what it is. I like that, but I also don't want it to be taken negatively, because if my action, obviously your actions always have consequences, and consequences have responsibilities. So, you know, me acting this way because of someone, I don't want to ruin this thing that I have with someone. Does that make sense? I'm sure it makes sense, because in my head it makes sense. So I know what I'm talking about when I look back on this. I'm trying not to think that way, because, you know, you gotta let people do what they want to do. You can't expect something from someone either, especially if they're not like your close one. So I'm not too upset these days. Like, it doesn't really bother me like it used to. And until one of my overthinking scenarios actually does happen, until then I am going to try and just ignore it, because like I said, I don't want to burn bridges before even crossing them. So yeah, that is one of the things. Another thing that's really been playing on my mind is not just by the way, these are some things that I've seen and I've experienced as well. It's not always about me. But another thing that's been playing on my mind is like, if you have a good relationship with someone, like not just significant other, as in just in general, like a friend or sibling, whatever. If you have a good relationship with someone and you've done something and, you know, you say sorry, whatever, apologize, realize, say sorry, but then if you keep doing it, it becomes a habit, you know, and there's only so much that someone can sort of like, you know, let go. So when it becomes a habit, that's when it becomes a problem. But then I don't understand why you would be surprised that this person has changed. So if you've hurt someone and you do it again and again and again, you hurt someone and that becomes a habit, then I don't know why you would be surprised when that person like sort of distances themselves from you. You know what, I'll just do this after. Boo. I'm not going anywhere, but I was so bored, and you know, I realised I haven't done my makeup properly in such a long time. So I was like, you know what, let me just experiment today, because I've never worn blue eyeshadow, so I just wanted to see in the future if I did decide to wear blue, whether it would suit me or not. I don't think it's really for me, but look at that, oh my god. But I don't think this is for me. I just look really different and a bit scary, if I'm honest. So as maybe you can tell from my voice, but I am ill again. It's like edging towards the last week of having flu or whatever this is. I swear I was literally ill like 2 months ago. That is why my voice sounds like it does. Also, how cute are these sunglasses? Look at that. And they've got like these little dangly things, so when your hair is up and stuff, it looks like earrings. I just love how like this little detail, it looks like earrings, right? Anyway, I'm planning to wear these in summer. A little bit different today. I just wanted to try a new look because I wanted to practice for summer, and pink lips is not me at all. Like, I don't think pink lips really suits me. I normally always wear red, like dark red, or you know. To be honest, I had a lot to say last time I was trying to film, but because I kept getting interrupted, I didn't finish what I was saying. What was I even going on about? I don't really remember what I was talking about, but clearly, see, it must not have been as stressful or as annoying if I can't remember it now. So in that moment, obviously when the emotions are high, you're like, everything's elevated. See, I can't even remember what I was upset about. Oh yeah, and also I cut my hair by myself because clearly I was not going to go to the salon anytime soon. I don't know if you can really tell. I tried to do layers, but it didn't really work. Well, they made it look so easy, but it was not working. Not for me anyway. Maybe I just don't have patience, because in the end I just got really impatient. I just like picked out bits of hair and I was like, okay, so it's gonna sit like that, because my hair's always in a side parting, so it's gonna sit like that. I want it up to here, and then I just cut it like that. It's been quite neutral, if I'm not gonna lie. The beginning was a bit maybe I'm just ill at the moment, so I don't really care about anything else. I just want to get better because I hate being sick. I'm just so tired all the time, and I hate, you know what, like when people, yeah, I am lazy, I get it, but thing is, I am a very productive person as well. So I feel like out of all my friends as well, and you guys know too, I am very like productive. Like before, even after work, I would come back home and do something, you know. So for me to not do anything and just sleep, clearly that means that I'm really tired, I'm really fatigued. Lupus is intertwined with like chronic fatigue as well. I'm just so tired all the time. I don't want to be. I feel like I'm a very productive person, and although yeah, I have my off days where I'm like maybe in bed all day, but like I said, like I already feel shit about it and it's not helping. But if you're ill and you don't sleep, then obviously you're not going to recover, are you? Especially for someone who's got an autoimmune like disease. Your body is already attacking itself, and why would I put more stress and like burn myself out if I'm not feeling well, you know? To me, I know my body, and I'm not sleeping on purpose. Like I feel so shit when I waste a whole day sleeping. I really do, because I'm like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. But the past 2 months have been like kind of flaky, so on and off, on and off. My meds are working. Well, I say working. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I think that depends on maybe my body and my immune system, whatever. Maybe that's reacting to the meds. My back hurts. What was I saying? Sometimes you have to know when to draw the line at where your affection and, you know, reciprocation of something. I'm not doing something because I want it back, but to a certain extent you would think that, you know, that person would care enough to kind of cater to your needs sometimes as well. Like, I'm not trying to be picky and say like, oh, I need this, this, this. Like in the past I was, but I have grown a lot and I've changed so much that I'm not like that. Like, I'm hardly ever like that. So if it's the same things that I'm wanting or asking, well, I shouldn't even really be asking for it, should I? But anyway, surely you would understand, like, this person like would feel appreciated if I just did this, just to, like, you know, munrak me or whatever, just to make them happy. And then I know some people argue and be like, oh, so why would you just do that to make them happy? Then you're being fake, you're not being myself, because I wouldn't feel true to myself. Well, you need to compromise certain things. Like, if you've got people in your life who are special to you, you would go out of your way because they do that for you. You know, anyway, I think that's the thing that I was a bit hyper about. last time. Of course everyone sees it and views it in a different way, so it's not really fair for me to be like, oh, I think it's unfair. Actually no, I will say it's unfair because like I matter too, my feelings matter as well, you know. But I don't know why I'm talking like this. These days my habit is not like, oh, I want this, why aren't you doing this, I would do that for you. Like, I'm not like that at all anymore. Now I'm sort of more like, I'll do it for you and because I care about you, but after a few times, if you don't like appreciate it, or if there's no point in doing something or saying something if that person doesn't feel the meaning behind it, if you know what I mean. So but then there's a really thin line between that and being unappreciative as well. So it's a bit of a sticky one, but these days I just kind of let it go. It's like, it is what it is. Like, you know, I'm trying, and if you're not giving me at least 50%, I'm not asking for 100, not even 80, just 50%. If you're not even giving me that, then I see where I stand, because, you know, we're not kids anymore. Like, we know our boundaries, and sometimes it's tough to make those decisions, but at the end of the day, if I don't think that way, like, if I don't think in that way, then, like, it's just gonna stress me out. It's just gonna make me feel like shit. It's gonna make me upset. You know, at the end of the day, I'm the one who's got the short stick. Okay? What do they say? The short end of the stick. Moving on. So I had a dream that, oh my god, if you know me, you know that my dreams are crazy AF. Like, they could literally be like turned into a movie. Like, that is literally how crazy my dreams are sometimes. But I've never had a dream where I had an actual voiceover in my head, in my dream. So it was happening, but I literally felt like so enlightened. I don't know how to explain to you. You know how some people, they're like, oh, I had a dream and it really like I don't know, some people, like, for example, some people, they might feel like God reached out to them in their dreams, something like, okay, my dream was not to that extent, but basically, meaning behind that dream that I had that made me so enlightened, like, I was shook myself when I woke up. It's like, so basically, oh, I don't know how to explain it. So there was like this building thing with a lighthouse, but you can climb it, right? So you know how the sun sets, like at the bottom there was like a grass area where people were sitting and like you can have a picnic there and things. The main thing that happened was literally, so the sun was setting, and this is when the voiceover started. I was like, what the fuck? The sun was setting, right? And at the bottom everything was like getting really dark, and I just remember going up the stairs of the lighthouse or the building, whatever that was, and then it was a lot lighter, but the sun was still setting. So basically the voiceover was saying something like, oh, when you're at the bottom, things are different, and then when you're at the top, things are different. So to myself, I portrayed that as like perspective. So at the bottom it was like darker, it was like less spatial awareness, and because all you can see is like the sun is setting quicker at the bottom, because you have like a narrow like line of sight or whatever. And then when I went to the top, it was a lot brighter, even though the sun was still setting, and I could see everything. Like, you know, when you're on a tall building, you can see everything. So I think what I took away from that dream was like, sometimes I'm at the bottom and sometimes I'm at the top, but it's always better to be at the top. Because when I was at the bottom, I had all these negative feelings. It was getting dark and I was scared, and I was like, I have to go inside. Then when I went to the top, like, I had a whole like, give on. I don't even know how to explain to you how this dream made me feel, but like, I had a lot more spatial awareness. It was a lot lighter. My focus was not just on one thing, and I felt lighter. So I think personally what I took away from that is like, it's perspective, and I can either be at the bottom, and it's okay, some days I'm at the bottom and then some days I'm at the top. This is the first time I've ever, like, my friends have heard my dreams, and I'm telling you, they are crazy. Like, they are literally full-on movie plots. You know, they have freaking get a plot twist in my dream. I think I'm just a very like creative person, but this one was like the first time I woke up and I was like, oh my god, like, I feel so enlightened. Like, you know when people have like a eureka moment? I felt that. Honestly, I feel like my third eye is open. Jokes. I thought I just would share that because I felt very like, come on, like this power inside me when I woke up. It was really weird. Anyways, have a good rest of, oh no, it'll be end of May when this is out, but have a good June. I got good wishes and blessings for you, for whoever's watching. Y'all, see, I'm like, my subconscious mind is lecturing me, okay? It's advising me and guiding me. I would be dumb not to take that advice from myself, from someone. See you in June.